1. Shauna reveals her past with Bill, Flo kisses Wyatt. The bold and the beautiful spoilers for Monday, April 8th, bother that Shauna Fulton, Denise Richards, and Quinn Forrester's, Rena Sofer, discussion at Forrester Creations will take a startling turn. Shauna's simply gotten notification from Quinn that Bill Spencer, Don Diamont, is Wyatt Spencer's, Darren Brooks, father, and making a decision by her response, that is the exact opposite thing she expected to hear. As indicated by B&B spoilers, Shauna will at that point lay some enormous data on Quinn. She'll share that she, as well, realized Bill once upon a time, and that Bill could be Florence Flo Fulton's, Katrina Bowden, father. This would surely be sufficient dramatization for one day. However, it appears that at about this time, Bill will waltz into Forrester Creations searching for Quinn to examine a money-related issue. There will be some cumbersome minutes as Shauna unmistakably perceives Bill, yet Bill doesn't recollect Shauna. In any case, as indicated by B&B spoilers, Shauna will comprehend what to state to refresh Bill's memory a bit, and that will prompt some much increasingly clumsy minutes between Shauna, Bill, and Quinn. Obviously, Quinn will reel from the news that Shauna and Bill once dozed together, and from the likelihood that Wyatt and Flo are half-kin. In the interim, on the new scene of B&B on Monday, April 8th, Flo and Wyatt will proceed with their discussion about their separate dads at Flo's place. Flo has presented her DNA profile to a national database, and she's trusting that it will before long uncover the personality of her dad. She truly values Wyatt's help in the entire procedure, and his eagerness to share the subtleties of his own father look with her. Obviously, Flo has no clue that her father and Wyatt's father may simply be one and the equivalent. She'll get some answers concerning that improvement soon enough, yet until further notice she'll simply be centered around her appreciation toward Wyatt for being so useful and inviting toward her. B&B spoilers state that she'll have some sweet words for Wyatt. Be that as it may, words aren't all she'll give Wyatt. It appears that Flo will briefly overlook that Wyatt has Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope, in his life, and she'll become involved with a minute and plant a major kiss on Wyatt. This will be the second time that Flo has kissed Wyatt, obviously the first occasion when she didn't yet think about Sally. B&B spoilers state that Wyatt will be very astonished by Flo's intense move. Wyatt's a respectable person, so he'll most likely end up moving in an opposite direction from the kiss and reminding Flo that he's taken. However, at this point he'll have a problem on his hand. There could positively be some clumsiness going ahead with Flo, and Wyatt should choose whether to confess all with Sally about the kiss. Liam isn't worried. The bold and the beautiful fans are simply over this as of now. Quinn can't appear to tend to her very own concerns. Brooke can't tend to her very own concerns. Nobody can tend to their very own concerns. Quinn is all over endeavoring to get her child, who is content with Sally, together with a barkeep he dated in secondary school who simply had an infant that she purportedly surrendered for selection, yet she's really a liar who stole that infant from Hope and Liam and helped Reese in pitching that infant to Steffi through the affectation of an exceptionally fast appropriation. It's everything appalling and harsh, and that is the thing that Quinn needs for her child. Furthermore, she and Flo's mother are tied in with endeavoring to get that going, where we as a whole realize that he and Sally are intended to be. Brooke, then again, is making mystery manages Liam that will disturb Taylor when she discovers. Over the majority of that, we can see that Thomas and Hope are playing a perilous amusement. She's hitched to Liam, her infant young lady kicked the bucket during childbirth. Well, she didn't, and he's a man whose infant mom just passed on and left his young child without a mother. He is enabling Hope to invest an excessive amount of energy with his child, and his child is as of now requesting that her be his mom. Things are not going to end well in this circumstance, and we as a whole know it. Our hearts for the most part hurt for this young man who is without a mother in his most youthful and most developmental years, and we can hardly imagine how they are enabling this to go on. Neither of them think this is an awful thought by any means. Be that as it may, we do, and we realize that this kid will finish up hurt along these lines. What's next on The Bold and the Beautiful? Expectation will keep on going through this week, developing nearer to little Douglas. Since Steffi left and took the infants with her, she's been distant from everyone else once more. Furthermore, presently she has a youngster to concentrate on, and it just demonstrates that she is unmistakably not okay. Nobody can be good with this in their lives, and she needs to concentrate on things that are getting down to business out for her in another way, as well. She needs to get her very own coexistence, she needs to concentrate on her circumstance, her life, and her method for living, and she needs to do that without getting included more with this kid. Thomas needs to put a stop to this, however he won't permit that either. What will occur here, presently? Liam isn't stressed over very similar things that Brooke is stressed over. She's certain that Taylor will figure out how to ensure that Hope winds up with Thomas, and Liam doesn't imagine that will occur. Obviously, we think we are watching it happen at the present time, however that is neither here nor there. He doesn't share her expectations, concerns, or issues, so he won't pay attention to her when she comes to him about them. Quinn and Flo will keep on offering their kinship to us in the way that they are unmistakably both of the supposition that their children have a place together and they are a great idea to go. We figure they will leave their own specific manner to get this going, and we are unsettled. Bold and the beautiful characters who aren't bringing the heat. The bold and the beautiful fans are not familiar with exhausting characters, yet we really want to feel that some are transforming into simply that. Here is a half-hour demonstrate that has such a large number of individuals having such a significant number of storylines to pack in at one time, and they are nearly to the point that they once in a while have such a great amount of going on that we can't deal with it, and different occasions they don't have enough going on. Something isn't directly around here nowadays, and it's as simple as that. In any case, a portion of our most loved characters have favored making things somewhat unique, and some of the time distinctive is somewhat exhausting. We think we, and the performing artists, merit more. Brooke. Does she adore Ridge or Bill for sure? Does she need to be hitched to her significant other, or does she need to invest all her energy sneaking around despite his good faith and afterward giving him so much inconvenience when he truly does precisely the same thing despite her good faith and she's done to him? Aside from at any rate he is doing it with the lady with whom he shares kids. She is carrying on with a similar life again and again, and it's getting a bit of exhausting. She's carrying on with a real existence where she's hitched to Ridge and sneaking around with Bill while revealing to her significant other he's jumpy for reasons unknown, or she's interfering in her little girl's life and afterward getting frantic at her better half for doing likewise to his very own girl. Brooke, as we would like to think, needs something energizing in her life. A side interest or an occupation or something that makes her more than everybody's concern. It's getting old. Expectation. She lost her child, with the exception of she didn't, and this is another storyline that is taking too long to even think about finding any kind of joy at last. This one ought to have finished weeks back, and we aren't sure why it's being delayed this long and this much. We don't get that, and we don't welcome that. Be that as it may, at the time, we are simply pondering what else can turn out badly for her. She's back, and she's been a similar exhausting young lady she was before she left. We do like her a ton, however she does carry on with a ceaseless existence of poor me as far as how every other person treats her and how every other person sees her. She's particularly similar to her mom in that she is dependably a casualty of every other person, and she's continually attempting to be the legend by acting like she forfeits every last bit of her own joy for more noteworthy's benefit. It's getting somewhat worn out and dull, and we'd like to see her assume some responsibility for her life and abandon Liam and everyone of that hauls her down without endeavoring to drive him back to Steffi. We'd like to see her accept a similar line as Steffi and assume responsibility for her very own life. That is the thing that we need, Katie. She's dependably somewhat exhausting, and she merits more than that. She's dependably been very nearly an idea in retrospect in all that she does, and we are burnt out on observing her like that. She just drifts through her existence without a lot to offer the world aside from her very own sentiments of misery and now and then bliss. She never wins anything, and it nearly torments us to watch her attempt and make things work with her ex again. She should simply release it, proceed onward, and center around herself. She's solitary, going to lose him to her sister once more, and her sister will disclose to her that it's her own blame and that she didn't have anything to do with the way that Bill needs her more than Katie, and she will by one way or another end up with him, and Katie will, by and by, be left to her very own gadgets with no genuine partner. That is the manner by which it works with her and with Bill and with her sister, and she realizes that. It has dependably been that way, it will dependably be that way, and nobody will ever change this is her predetermination, future, and her life in any way. She's experiencing somebody's fantasy, yet it's not hers.